What is going on, everybody? And welcome back to the absolute best show in all of pro wrestling and sports entertainment. You know what time it is. It is the Royal Rundown. I am one half your host and duo, SERG VICENTE. Joining me is my sister from another mister, Miss Drede. Miss Drede, how you living?
What up, though? We are doing good. I lost your... Can you hear me? I think I lost audio, bro.
Oh, hold up. I hear you. Can you hear me?
I can't hear you. Can you hear me?
I do hear you. Yes.
Still can't hear. Okay. Yep.
You can't hear me. Hold up. Well,
that was so weird.
I
can hear you now. I just because I took off my epic. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Just making sure. Cool.
Well,
you hear me?
Yeah, we're all good. Yeah, we're all good.
All right, cool. Just making sure. Perfect. Well, thank you that I'm glad we do have our audio going, and everyone who is listening live right now on not only on Instagram, on YouTube, and on Twitch. Thank you so much for watching live right now. Do us a favor, like, share, and subscribe. Also, if you are watching this video live, do yourself a favor. Click off of the chat and like this video. Please like this video. It really does help our algorithm, and it helps more people see this and view the absolute best show in all of pro wrestling and sports entertainment. And again, it just helps us get the views and clicks that we absolutely need. And because we want to grow, we want to continue doing this to bring you guys the best possible content. Also, Etsy.com/shop/thefightpodshop. Get yourself some merch. We have beautiful mugs, as we see. We have t-shirts. We have not one, but two different types of hats. We have a premium trucker hat, and we also have another trucker hat as well. So check both of those out. And so much more. Also, do yourselves a favor, follow the Fight Podcast, and also follow our Substack page. Not only do we go ahead and actually have visual content for you guys here on YouTube and YouTube content, we also we're overall content creators and journalists here for you guys. We have our Substack. We actually had a great article that came out this week about the fights this past weekend with Caleb Plant and how he stole the fight weekend. And we also have another article coming out tomorrow about Jey Uso. So that's going to be great. Check that out as well.
Yes. And stay tuned because the Vince McMahon Netflix documentary that's coming out, we'll be getting some articles about that too. So it's going to be up.
I can't wait. All right. Dre, how are you doing though? How is everything living?
Man, listen, we here, we alive, we're grateful, The smile is big like it always is, so we're doing good.
There we go. And look, this wasn't as busy week as it was in the world of professional wrestling, but there is still a lot going on. I want to kick it off with this. A lot of us who grew up in the 90s and were around in the 80s remember Saturday Night Main Event. And it was one of the premier wrestling shows on television. WWF at the time really was out there doing its thing, and that's where a lot of us really fell in love with professional wrestling. And Triple H is bringing it back. It was just announced yesterday. Saturday Night Main Event's coming back. Dre, what are your thoughts on Saturday Night Main Event?
Why not? Why not? It's not like we have. We're just lacking so much wrestling content. Like, what are we gonna watch? We need another show.
There is honestly so much going on now in the world of professional wrestling. We have, obviously both, the shows. It is obviously SmackDown is no longer on Fox. It is now on the USA Network because also at the beginning of the year, I believe January 25th or something around those lines, it is moving over to Netflix, which is going to be really, really dope. But I think it's going to be on Netflix earlier for the UK and other people. I think it starts.
It might, and I think everything is going to be in Netflix for the UK. I think everything goes on to, and then we have SmackDown moving to CW. Right. I'm sorry, I take that back. I take all of that back. NXT's moving to CW.
Yes. The black shows going to the Blackest Network. We are not mad at it. Yes, all day, every day. Let's go.
In a minute, UPN coming back.
Last night, that's exactly who they were.
That show is so us.
It's so us. And that's why it's the best show in professional wrestling. It's great. Raw is great. Don't get me wrong. I've been loving Raw, especially as of recently. But NXT, the storylines, what they're doing, the callbacks, the mix of people, I'm loving what I'm seeing from NXT.
It's just fun. NXT's a fun show. It's a fun, I feel like sometimes wrestling, internet wrestling fans specifically, not us, we like to have fun over here. But movie
wrestling for life. Shout out to
all day long. I think that sometimes we get wrapped up in the discourse a lot of times. And I think sometimes people who participate in the discourse online forget that wrestling is also for kids. We are very grown. We are big aged. And I think sometimes we forget that wrestling kids too, like they're children. We're bringing a lot of people, our peers are bringing their babies.
Like Wu-Tang, wrestling's for the kids, for the children.
Yeah, it's for the cheering, you know. And so you gotta have a mixture of everything. And I think NXT does a really good job of that. I mean, and when that's everything, you get everything. And then also I just feel like right now you're getting a lot of the old feeling back when NXT first kind of became a popular third option for WWE fans. And you know, NXT just always has a special place in my heart because, you know,
NXT is great. NXT is great. They should have hired you when they had the chance. All right, well, let's talk about this. Let's get into it, right?
Let's do it.
Raw was Rawing last night, or should I say on Monday?
2 nights ago. Yeah.
Yeah, 2 nights ago. It was a great show.
Hello?
And we're starting to see a couple different things. Not only, obviously, we're seeing the disintegration of the New Day, if you want to say it, but we'll talk about later on the show. I know it hurts all of us. It hurts us all. But I have thoughts and I have notes, and we can go ahead and talk about that in a little bit. We have that. We also have, obviously, the Judgment Day. Their drama is still going. They are a pillar of Monday Night Raw. And we're getting the Intercontinental title on Monday night next week. And that is going to be against the Intercontinental Championship, Braun Breaker, whom, Dre, you correct me if I'm wrong, but he has been better than expected since he's been in the main roster. I think that when he was in NXT, they were trying to figure his character out for a little bit and trying to figure out exactly who he was and just build him up on the mic, doing different things. His time with the Wolf Dogs and that tag team, I really believe that it really helped, and his time, shape his character. And his character now, I think, is fantastic, but he's going against main event Jey Uso, the Yeet Master. How do you think the build to this has been? Yeet, okay. How do you think the build to this has been? And are you actually excited about it?
Yeah, that's a great question. So first, 2 things. I was never a Braun Breaker gal, if you will. I mean, he didn't necessarily do it for me. Not and I always do this, but there's a difference between I think they're bad versus they're just not for me.
Right. And absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Drew McIntyre was not my guy. Not that he was bad.
Right.
It wasn't for me.
It's one for you, right? And so that's a very good equivalent, right? So like, I personally think that this is, maybe it's because he's going against someone that I'm a fan of. It's probably, I'm like, ooh, this is the best I've seen Braun Breaker, be. I think on Monday night,
that's elevated for sure.
Well, absolutely. And then also I think the promos between the two, Jey and Braun, and their interaction on Monday night was just it was a nice intensity leap, right?
Yeah,
especially because we know Jey can be serious because we've seen it over the what do you say, 14 years they've been in the main rock. They've been in WWE
over the last the first 3 years of the Bloodline saga.
Right.
He was more of a serious character. He didn't start getting kind of playful and goofy till Sammy joined the fray.
Right. But I just think it's really dope to kind of remind people. I love when we see our talents that have been around for a long time that we kind of get, quote unquote, used to seeing on screen, remind y'all like, oh, wait, I do this too. Right. We'll talk about the New Day in a second as well, because I think that we can use that same sentiment. And so I just think it's going to be fun. And I like the less heavy-handed, but the nice reminder of the fact that these are legacy talents, that both of them, both of their fathers and other family members have fought each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really nice, subtle reminder, but it doesn't overshadow the story. And then I just think that we're all rooting for Jey, but we don't necessarily think, Braun's reign has been long enough. So which is the perfect kind of uncertainty you want going into a championship match, because the worst thing is going to a championship match knowing good and well that the challenger's doesn't have a chance in winning.
The fact that they're actually doing this title on a Monday night, as opposed to actually having it on a PLE, because if it's a PLE, it's like I remember growing up, and that's one thing that I used to love about pro wrestling, right? Especially WWE. I mean, WCW did it too. Those titles would be up for grabs any day. Any day.
It forces you to watch the shit. You gotta watch the show.
Watch it, right? So
now you have to watch the show.
With the character and everything that's going on with Jey, and Jey is turning into full on this era's Randy Savage. Like he really is.
Okay.
Look, the whole energy, his outfit, the glasses, everything.
The pink is lit. I like the pink.
Is lit.
I like the pink.
You can tell who his influences are, and I really love that. And I think that this solo run has kind of been able to let him step out of his family shadow to an extent and be an individual and show who his influences are aside from the individuals in his family. And it's kind of cool once we do, because I do, and we'll talk about it later on the show, believe how when the bloodline, the OG bloodline gets back together, it'll be cool because then there'll be a group of individuals coming together because they want to, as opposed to being,
it'll be fresh.
Some of one. Yeah, it'll be really
nice and fresh.
Yeah, and seeing, Jey with that pink is fire. I can't stunt. I went on WWEshop.com and was looking at it, but you know what? Instead of jumping on WWEshop.com, you're supposed to go to Etsy.com/shop/FightPod shop and actually get merch there instead. But
I see what you did there. I see what you did.
That's how he gets down.
That's what you do.
But it's dope. I thought like his whole energy is great. The promo was great. And I was worried for a second because before the show, they did this real dope thing after their promo. Braun bounces off the ropes and Jey actually hit him with a spear. And first of all, fantastic spear, if I do say so myself. Just well-timed, great spear. Loved every second of it. But then Jey sits there with the belt and I'm like, damn. You know how it is. The person who's standing up at the end of the day is usually the person that loses. Well, end of the show, Jey got speared back, and I was like, yes, yes.
Listen, because I was
right here because we won't be. But by the time we record next, it will have already happened.
We'll know.
In your opinion, is Jey Uso finally? He's had his shots before. He's had 2 shots against Roman Reigns. He's had and he has had another shot against Gunther. This guy has had multiple chances of being a singles champion. Is he finally going to get it? Dre,
I really hope so. I really hope so. I want it so bad. Right? I want it. I don't know. I think again, we've been trained to kind of I feel like we've been trained to not necessarily expect it, especially because Braun's reign hasn't been super long, and you don't want to make Braun look weak and yada yada. Yeah, but I think that I don't think it hurts Braun to lose to Jey.
No, not at all.
Especially because it'll be a fun, hard hitting, entertaining match, right? Yeah. So I don't think it'll hurt him. The Bloodline Judgment Day stuff, all has the potential to kind of provide shenanigans in the background for either party, right? So we just don't know. But I'm rooting for Jey. I don't know. I genuinely have not, like, my lovely little fantasy booker brain. I don't know. I don't have a clue what they are gonna do. Right? But I hope Jey gets it. And we're gonna be phones down, popcorn up, sit up, lean forward during this match next week, and that's going to be a good time.
My opinion is Jey should win. He is the most overact in the organization. The only people that you could even say that are close to Jey Uso right now are Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. And let's be very clear, they've been on record saying it. The number one merch getter over the last year has been Jey Uso. So if he is the number one merch getter, he is the person who's out here doing it. He has done his job. Reward this man by giving him a title. He is over as he can be.
And I want Jimmy to come out and just give him a hug and congratulate him.
I would love that. See,
I need that.
Is a great way to get Jimmy to come back.
Just congratulate
him. Came back there and it made it seem like he was gonna attack him afterwards. He came with a hoodie on or something, jumped in the ring and just hugged him. Oh my God! You might get a tear out your boy.
Hugs, raise the hand, fade to black.
Oh my God. That would be
that's all I want.
Oh.
And look, our Pisces little hearts would just
explode. Oh my God.
That's all we want. That's all we want.
I will say
who knows if that's happening.
I do not like the Jey Uso Rhea Ripley shit. I can't stand it.
Can I say I don't mind it? Let me tell you why.
I don't like it. He has a beautiful black queen at home. Let them live.
Rhea got a whole husband too.
I don't give a damn.
But can we stay with me here?
Okay.
Rock with me.
Yes.
All right. I would be in agreement with you if they did it to the levels of which they did the Rhea Dom thing. So that didn't slowly burn for real, right? There was flirt, and then all of a sudden, right? Just like the Dom and Liv thing. This isn't real life flirting for real. It's very
work wife.
It's giving it's giving middle school crush. It's not even giving high school crush. It's giving very middle school crush, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay
because
with it
Jay's
not
being so silly and fun.
Because Jay's playing it silly and fun, and Rhea's playing it just very 12-year-old girl. Very, I'm gonna wear his t-shirt. I'm gonna wear his jersey for the football game. Very, like very, hey, I know this is going on over here, but I need you to you should good luck. Like it's just enough.
Okay.
It's just enough. If it's any more than that, like I don't need Rhea coming out Monday after he wins and like giving him a kiss or something. I don't need that.
I don't need her coming out. I don't need Damian coming out. I don't need none of them. No. Give me your bust.
Right. I mean, at most, and let's be clear, we've watched enough WWE.
Hey,
this is happening.
Could you imagine if Roman came out and hugged him?
Crazy.
That would be insane.
Crazy. This is all I ever wanted. You know what I'm saying? This is why I was so hard on you. This is why we were so hard on you. Like, give it to me. Right?
That would be. We need to be right. We need to be in the writers' room. That there. Come on,
we're writing for our faves right now. So of course we want the story.
I could write for the people that y'all don't think I like.
Of course we can, because we're trying to fix it. No, anyway.
I would fix it. Even though I love what they're doing with Theory. Oh
yeah,
the way that Theory's been written recently, ever since I said
that Theory Waller slow breakup is going nice. It's a lovely undercard kind of what's going on here, guys. We love that.
I'm not a fan of Tiffany Stratton. Like everybody else is in love with her for some reason. I'm not.
Could you put your eyes back in your face?
Yeah. I'm just
put your eyes back in your face.
It's not for me, right? And
I enjoy her matches.
Better not have her beat Nia Jax.
I enjoy her matches. I really do.
She's good at that, but that's what I'm saying. She's a good performer, but it's just not for me.
Like, she's not your kind of character.
But her character and everything else, it's just like it could do. She's what's the whatever Green, whatever her name is,
Chelsea Green.
It's the same character.
But I love Chelsea Green is slapstick, like,
and that's what makes her great.
And that's what makes it great. Yeah,
Chelsea's more slapstick, which makes her great.
And Chelsea can go too. Like people sleep on how good of a wrestler Chelsea is, but she can go too.
Really good wrestler.
Yeah.
I like her, but no, I love what they're doing there. Salute to Jey Uso. I just love how they're elevating Bronson Reed. And
I still want to see Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte, and allegedly Charlotte might be cleared.
Ooh, that banger.
That's all I want to see. All I want to see.
Okay,
and I think
great match
to go along with you. I don't mind Tiffany. Like I don't mind Tiffany. Yeah. I just want to see her. I just think that every time I see her, I see a younger or Charlotte. That's all I see, and that that's probably unfair. But the gymnast background, the tall, blonde, athletic situation.
She's wild athletic. And Charlotte, for all the people who don't love Charlotte or like Charlotte, you cannot deny her as a performer. When she gets in there, the old collar and elbow, Charlotte gets busy.
She also knows who she is as a character. Like once she figured out that I'm gonna just be a Flair, And I love that. I know that's probably that was, I don't know. I mean, I'm just assuming here, but that I could see how that could have been a hard decision to make. I could see how she maybe wanted to do the Braun Breaker thing, right? She didn't. She was Charlotte for a long time before she was Charlotte Flair. She didn't use the name. We all knew who she was, but whatever. But I could see trying to be something completely different. But once she leaned into the Flairness, bruh, like great. It's kind of like dog. Like it was right there. And you know, your daddy daughter, like just go crazy. And she does. And I am genuine. I know people kind of hate because she was booked strangely, you know. I kind of akin her to this. People didn't like Charlotte's booking for the same reasons they didn't like Roman's booking for so many years. It's very similar. It was very, oh Lord, when you put her in the title picture, we already know she's winning kind of thing. And I think that's just because it was lazy booking at the time, but that wasn't her fault.
Becky Lynch was lazy booking. I don't know about Charlotte.
You weren't there, bro. I'm talking about before this. Okay. Before you weren't there, but I feel you. They did do a similar thing with Becky, I think too, but it was just, you know, people are gonna be less harsh to Becky because she's not a Flair, right? Absolutely. So
there is something to the physically imposing one, and again, we have to remember who is actually, you know, Becky Lynch isn't physically imposing, so people are. And I hate to be the one to say this, but especially a non-physically imposing white woman goes out there and people are going to want to protect her. And yes, she's this and they want to see her win. When they see the physically imposing one out there, they're going to be like, I don't know about all that. You know what I'm saying? So, and that's why we're getting, you know, the power buff girls getting beat on a random Monday night. You know what I'm saying? But granted,
that was a great match. Bianca and Io.
The best match of the night. Holy shit, they cooked. To the point that CM Punk even had to talk about it on NXT last night. They cooked. Oh, real quick. Speaking of NXT, what are your thoughts on Roxanne Perez?
What, Punk's daughter?
All I said when I saw that little interaction that they had, I was like, you know the biggest hug they gave each other when they got back to the back? He was so proud. You saw it all over.
One of Punk's cheering Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez. I mean,
she ain't from Chicago, is she not? Right?
No, I don't think so. Roxy was, I believe, she was trained by Booker T.
She is. She's a Booker disciple. Yes.
One of the many. You know.
Yeah. Just like the Usos. Come on now.
There's a pattern, you know.
But I know I like Roxanne. I think, and I you already know me. Some of the women I think that are too small, it's just not realistic. For some reason, she pulls it off because she cooks. She's really a great performer.
Yeah.
Another small woman that's a great performer that really cooks.
Every single one of the Japanese girls. Io.
Come on.
Kairi.
But their presence is so much bigger, it seems like.
You forget that they're 5 foot nothing.
The Japanese women are honestly some of my favorite in the WWE. They are incredible.
Go crazy. Them women go crazy. I love watching Bianca Belair against them. She's been doing this since she was in NXT.
Yeah.
She is we've sing Bianca Belair's praises on this show every time we open our mouth.
Yes.
Every time we open our mouths. And we're going to continue today because, baby, that match between her and Io, I was like, give me 10 more, please. Thanks. I'll take all of those.
And Kairi Sane is another one. I love watching Kairi perform.
Love watching Kairi perform.
Yeah.
I love the pirate, the pirate princess from before. I love the evil pirate princess we have now. I love her.
Yeah, and them versus the Power Buff Girls. Come on.
The Power Buff Girls is crazy. I need the shirt. That is lovely. I love
that. The Power Buff Girls. I'm coining that. I love that.
Right.
It's the only one. The Power Buff Girls. They're incredible.
We might need to make that shirt. We might need to make that shirt, Serge. Yeah, we might have that might have to. That's gonna do a couple numbers.
Everyone who's watching live, thank you guys so much for watching live. Please do yourselves do me a favor, like this video, and follow.
Hi, Mom. I see you over there. Hi, Mom.
You know, Etsy.com/shop/Fight Pod Shop. Do yourself a favor. Go ahead and scoop up some merch today. What's up, Mama? I appreciate you. Hello. Look, we even got Dre right there in the look.
Oh,
Look at that right there. Look at that right
there. Me, mama, and sisters.
All right. I want to move on really quick and let's discuss. We teased it a little earlier in the show, but let's talk about the New Day. The New Day is coming up on their 10-year anniversary, and we are seeing more dissent than ever. I have to give them props the way that they have pivoted on a dime, back and forth. I think it shows how talented these guys are, but we're seeing Kofi and Woods they're going back and forth. They're losing. They're not even wearing the same gear anymore. One's in black, one's in green. I mean, it's showing breakup. They're seeming like they're beefing, but I have to say this. Let me know your thoughts.
Okay.
I don't think they're really going to break up. I think this is a tease for their 10-year anniversary. And because in Raw this week, they teased Big E. They're like, we never had this problem before because we had Big E.
Said his name.
They said his name. And Wrestling Rule 37 is if you say somebody's name, they will appear. They will appear. In fact, that's not even Rule 37. It's Wrestling Rule number 2. Okay? You say their name, they will appear. Like Freddy Krueger, okay? Or
like Beetlejuice, you gotta say it
Beetlejuice. Say him 3 times, he's definitely gonna pop up. Big E, he gonna pop up. So do you think this is a entry to get Big E back? Or, and again, straight journalist hat on, not fan. What do you think? Is that coming in, or is it something else? Please.
Okay. You said journalist hat, not fan, because you know how
you feel about E.
You know how I feel about that man, respectfully, because I know he's taken now. Okay. Here's what I'm gonna say. I truly think that I agree with you, but I don't think it's gonna be as soon as we all want. I actually think we're gonna get a full-blown New Day implosion. I think we're gonna get.
I think we're gonna get a match. I think
we got to. I think we might get more. I think we might get 2 to 3. I think we might. I think we might get a nice actual rivalry.
If they do what they have done with Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, I am not mad.
Oh God, because that's gonna be
insane. Those two, because I'll be honest with you, Woods is one of my all-time favorites.
Yes, underrated, ridiculous.
So underrated.
Yes,
he's so good.
Yes, I think we are, but I agree with you. I think that our boy is healing wonderfully. I think God is smiling on him, and I think he's coming back.
There was a clip of him recently in the gym.
Yeah, there's been multiple of those. Don't ask me how I know. But just. But yes, I mean, I think I agree with you. I think the whole saying his actual name and making him a part of what it seems like the storyline now, I think is part of kind of
absolutely
getting us excited to see him again for real. That we see him. Let's be clear. He's on his journalistic bag right now. He's on the pre-show. He's got the suit on and the dress shoes, and he's doing his thing. So we are, we have seen him, but I think they're priming the audience to watch the shows because we could see him at any time in regards to this. And I think that is, and God forbid he isn't actually, healed to wrestle. I still think they could still use him in the storyline. So I think we're gonna see him. Yeah. So I totally think that we're leaning towards that. But I have to give props. I was telling Serge this before we got on. The segment on Monday night, both the acting, the delivery of all lines, them boys was acting. Kofi and Woods are 2 of the most talented talents we've ever seen in the business, period, point blank. And I was just, we're gonna be stressed out. We're gonna be stressed out through this entire storyline, and I'm ready for it.
Love it. Speaking of stories we're stressed out, we're gonna finish with this one today. And everyone who's watching live, thank you guys so much for watching. Please do me a favor, like this video right here, and then like, share, and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well.
Yeah.
Check us out on Instagram as well at the Fight Podcast. You can see everything that we're doing there, clips from our shows. Not only this one, my show that I do, again, talking about MMA and boxing as well. And also check out our Substack. Check out the Substack page. All right, we see you, Dre.
Was it bad? I don't know. I've never ever done that in real life.
It's not a bad thing, okay? Not all of us need to be out here getting hit in the face. It's just not
the only fight I've ever been in. I threw a chair. Okay.
But I want to talk about this. The Bloodline. The Bloodline is going back and forth. We finally got, after a month or so, we finally got Roman going out there and jumping on the mic. And it seems like we're getting, and during the next PLE, Bad Blood, we're getting Solo and Jacob Fatu against Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. People are excited about this. I'll be very honest with you. I'm not really that enthused. In as much as you know how much I love our tribal chief, right? For me, more than anything else, it's just because I just don't care to see him with Cody. But I want Cody to do other things. He's been intertwined with the Bloodline for 2 years also. Like, let him go off and prosper, all right? Do your thing. Like, let's let everybody else over here do their thing. How do you feel about not only Bad Blood, Cody Rhodes, but where do you see the story going next?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we're in what I like to call the holding pattern. Let's keep them interested until we do the next big thing, right?
Keep them interested until Survivor Series.
Exactly. And I'm not mad at this tag match for, just because I think it's going to do exactly that. It's the holdover. It's the get us to the next chapter or whatever. I think Survivor Series is, when we're going to start seeing the next actual phase of this story. Like, I think it's Survivor Series. Bad Blood is going to maybe kind of push us to the next page, but I think Survivor Series is going to start the next chapter for real. So we got to have to kind of hold on a little bit and kind of just enjoy. We're going to get entertaining matches and entertaining segments from this all, but it's not going to be like groundbreaking newsworthy yet. Now, I might be eating my words, which, Trips will do that. You could feel free, please prove me wrong. I'm here for that. But I just think that we're going to chill a little bit until we get to Survivor Series. We still got Hikulelu coming in. I think we got The Rock.
The reason I think that Solo and Jacob Fatu win that match is because Hikulelu. I think that's when they debut him. I think he's been signed for almost a year already.
It's been that long. Jeez.
Yeah, it has been. He's been signed for almost a year, and they've just been waiting for the right time to bring him out. It's been at least 8 months.
He was we were in May was when Windy City Riot for New Japan, and he was there. So I think it was right after that. Yeah, I mean, it's been a minute. I know it's been a minute.
But he's been signed for a while. They said they've been waiting for the right moment. They've even changed his name. He's going to be one of the Tongas, and he is supposedly going to be. obviously his brothers are over there, right? They're going to have him on that side of the aisle. So he's going to be with the new Bloodline.
Yeah, I agree with you a little bit. I think Cody could use a break from anything Roman Bloodline worthy, but I do understand.
And I think Cody will be the one to probably take the pin.
Ooh. Yeah.
You got to protect Roman. He hasn't been back that long.
But Cody's the champ, though.
Who cares? Roman's the face.
But Cody's the champ. Ooh, so this is where we get. That is where we can get.
It proved because let's be very honest. If we really want to be really real, Cody's the third person on the roster.
I knew you were about to say. I knew you were going to say. I already knew you were going to say that.
He's behind 2 people on the Bloodline. He's behind
Roman and Jey. You think he's behind Roman and Jey?
Yes, 1,000%.
I would not argue with that per se,
and I reality. Won't. Facts don't care about your feelings. It's the reality.
Facts don't care about your feelings. I'm gonna use that. No, but yeah, I think we're just gonna in a bit of a holding pattern. I think it'll be fine. I'm more interested into seeing how the Jacob Fatu of it all. I think that's going to be an interesting just to kind of see how he's produced in that match. That's what I'm really interested in. I want to see how many times we're going to see him and Roman just kind of stand next to, face to face and clash and actually wrestle against each other and work against each other. I think that'll be interesting to see.
They will. I think they're going to they're going to purposely make them both look very strong.
Absolutely, and they should. I think that's the right decision. This is gonna be fun. I am really. I mean, holding pattern. I just keep saying that. What'd you say?
Solo's the weakest link out of the 4.
Oh, when the Tongans and Jacob came to NXT last week, we was like, oh, that looks nice. Like that.
It did.
No shade to Solo.
It gave a different energy.
Solo is a very talented dude. No shade to him, but that was a different energy. There's a different energy. Yeah.
It felt very New Japan, and it was good to see. And then again, if you have that, you allow Jacob to have his own faction with the Tongans and him. I mean, they could run amok, and it'd make total sense.
I also think that we have to remember we do have The Rock lingering in the background here somewhere, because him and Cody still got unfinished business.
Yes,
him and Roman got unfinished business. And once Survivor Series is over, we're really rolling into WrestleMania season. Like, I know it's it starts at Royal Rumble or whatever in the new year, but really the Survivor Series kind of is when you start kind of seeing some of these placed. So I feel like the bloodline lasting this long, first of all, is a complete celebration is a complete win, right? Because whoa. And the fact that and he's not even the Paul Heyman of it all is not even, we still have to consider that too. But I agree. I think we need to get Cody away from it for a minute. And I think that minute will be after, I hope that minute will be after Bad Blood. And then we'll see what happens, kind of throughout the rest of the year.
I'm expecting for Bad Blood. Because I think of interference, and I think that because to this point, Roman doesn't have a crew yet. They haven't. Right. He doesn't have a crew, I think that they're going to go out there. But the Cody Rhodes of it all brings Jey back into the fold.
Has to.
It brings Jey back into the fold because that's Jey's boy. Since former tag team champ, Jey will come out there, and Jey has been on record recently in interviews saying Roman Reigns is always my tribal chief. Always. So the fact that he went out there and said that, I think they're teasing it. And I think, like we said at the beginning of the show, I think a great way to do it is it has to be. It doesn't have to be. I would like to see either Jimmy or Roman come out at the end of the match. Everybody thinks it's brouhaha, and they have some sort of embrace or something. I think
they raise that man's hand, and they raise his hand while he got the IC title.
I think it would be dope. I think it would be dope, and finally, like the coronation of Jey Uso as a single star, and
then you'll have a belt on that side of the bloodline.
Exactly, because they have tag team titles now. On this side, there'll be an actual solo title, and they'll be so it makes sense. I love it. But I agree with you. Everything you said about that, I think we are in a holding pattern. I'm looking forward to seeing what's happening next. I've always loved what's going on with the bloodline.
And don't you love that the holding
wrestling? I'm happy.
Don't you love that the holding pattern is still fairly entertaining? Like it's not like amazing. It's not mind blowing.
It's not great.
But remember when the holding pattern was like, do I have to watch this? Like, remember when the super lull after WrestleMania, where it's like
it made me start watching New Japan.
Yes, I know. I remember. I am on record on this lovely show telling you, hold on. I know. Just
I was done with the WWE. I was like, this is terrible.
He was done, y'all. And I was like, I'm like, I get it. It's trash right now, but just hold on.
But because of trips, it has not been there. We have had consistent storylines,
been nice
all over the place, and we're even seeing stories drip into NXT. We're gonna see stories on Saturday Night Main Event. We're seeing them on SmackDown. They have put together a fantastic product. Salute to them. Salute to the wrestling world as a whole. Some of these indie shows have been fire. Zilla Fatu's been whooping ass. Mustafa Ali's been whooping ass. There's been
the TNA and the TNA NXT partnership is
incredible. So all in all,
love that.
Salute to the world of professional wrestling. Before we get out of here, Dre, anything else you want to touch on?
I mean, I'm gonna be watching Dynamite tonight. Anybody else? There we go. AEW Dynamite. Gonna watch that tonight.
My boy Ricochet. So
yes, Pretty Ricky, what they call him.
Prince Puma out here doing this thing. So that's gonna be awesome to see. So salute to everybody. It sounds like you were mentioning it. Who might be back soon? Before the show, we talked about it. I'm sorry, blanking on his name. One of the greatest of all time, AEW.
Oh, Kenny Omega. Yes.
Kenny Omega might be back. Yeah, so it looks like Kenny Omega might be cleared. So the sooner he gets back, the better AEW is going to be. And oh my God, Ricochet versus Kenny Omega, sign me up.
You're like, I'm ready. You're like,
ready.
I need that.
I love it. All right. With that being said, it's about all the time we have for the day, folks. Thank you all so much for watching the absolute best show in all of pro wrestling and sports entertainment. Like I said, like this video for us, please. It helps us out a lot. Really, I appreciate that. Like this video, like, share, and subscribe to what we're doing here, as well as the Instagram page, TikTok, all the above. Check us out and get some merch. Etsy.com/shop/TheFightPodShop. Get yourself merch. We have hats, we have mugs, we have t-shirts, we have hoodies. Support the show. We appreciate you guys and love y'all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Before we get out of here, remember, what show are we watching? What channel are you watching?
This is Absolute Ricky Starks. I'm letting you know that you are listening to the Fight Podcast.